No, but now it is. Hey guys, Sir Owen Disney here. It is 11:35 p.m. for me. Ashley, what time is it for you?
4:30 in the morning.
Good Lord.
You see, I've got to coach myself. I've got to get my sleep pattern sorted, otherwise I can't see Cinderella this Thursday because it's only on at 2 in the afternoon. But I've also got to make sure that I've sort of got my sleep patterns back to being stupid again, because obviously Saturday is Mayweather versus Big Show. Oh, sorry, Pacquiao. Thanks, WWE Network.
It's going to cost even more, and it's going to be over just as fast.
Unless you're in Mexico, in which it's free of charge. That's lovely.
Really?
How many people now living on the Mexican border are just going to go over so they can see it for free? Your passport, kids. We're going to see a boxing match across the state border.
If you want to pay over $100, and I know how expensive a passport is because I went on the cruise ship. If you want to pay over $100 to get a passport just to watch a fight, be my guest, please.
Yeah, but the passport lasts 10 years. The match could only last 6 minutes.
You're giving it way too much credit. It's boxing.
Yeah, but it's value for money. It's $10 a year compared to $100 for what? 3 hours?
Yeah, it depends on what the undercard's like.
I think there's only like 2 or 3 fights. The other 4 aren't even being broadcast as part of the pay-per-view.
Oh my god. All right, well, obviously we're not here to talk about boxing. We're here to talk about wrestling. So we're going to talk about a pretty lackluster edition of Raw.
I'd say screw that, considering what just broke in the past hour. I'd say.
Oh, trust me, we're going there first, actually.
Exactly.
Before we get started with probably a skewering of what happened on Raw tonight, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we just found out just a few minutes ago, literally just a few minutes ago, because of the Twitter feed of Mean Gene Okerlund. We actually know about a very tragic passing that has recently happened, and we don't have any information right now, but it is apparent that Vern Gagne has passed away. And obviously, Vern Gagne was a force in the territories running the AWA. He's a 16-time former world heavyweight champion, if you want to talk about his wrestling acumen. And he was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as well. Definitely has a Hall of Fame career, without a doubt. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to bring him up and his tragic passing before we started talking about Raw tonight.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It means that Iron Sheik shoot interview is going to have a whole different meaning.
Yeah. I mean, I
had to find some bright side to his passing, but yeah, a long and storied career, right through the NWA stuff, and I'm trying to think. I think he had like his last match at some point in the 90s, wasn't it? I think
his last wrestling match. I'm trying to find this information. It's hard to do it on the fly, folks, because this information just broke like minutes ago, so it's not like we're completely prepared to talk about it yet.
Within the last half hour to an hour, I'd say.
Yeah, and we didn't really have everything to go into it right away, so we definitely wanted to make sure before we started with anything that we definitely led with this tragic news.
Yeah, just looking at this, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's later on in his life and was in a special healthcare facility in Minnesota. Apparently in 2009, he got in an altercation with Helmut Gutmann, a 97-year-old resident of the facility, who fell and broke his hip. Apparently Gagne picked him up and held him violently to the floor.
But he was not criminally charged because of his passing.
I'm just looking at this. It says the police guy talking about the incident said the attack, which was not a wrestling body slam. Yeah, because you have to compare it to like wrestling because he was a wrestler.
Really? Would he actually say that out loud? That's the question.
the actual quote is, the attack, which was not a wrestling body slam, happened quickly when they were at a table. It was more like a push and shoved and caused him to fall.
And he died on February 14th due to complications from that injury.
Yeah.
But he was not charged for the homicide because of his
dementia. Because of the dementia, they treated, because both men had it, and neither had any recollection of it happening. They pretty much put it down to dementia.
It's just,
which is, it's a shame to see, but the old sort of creepy cynic in me is going, even in 2009 when he was, hang on, let's have a look, 83 or 84,
mm-hmm.
he was still giving people bumps of sorts. That sounds wrong. I apologize. But yeah, he retired in 81 apparently.
Okay.
So I guess for the rest of his life, he was just promoting and whatever for the AWA and all that.
Makes sense. I actually dealt with a Gagne, which was not a real Gagne. He pretended to be a real Gagne, and then he got sued by WWE, and he pretty much had to reveal that that's not my real name.
Yeah.
The real AWA controversy. I got wrapped up into that, actually, because I worked for one of the territories in the fake AWA.
Looking at some of the lists of the people that he's trained, other than Sheik, you got Backlund, you got Flair, you got the Andersons, Kurt Hennig.
Yes.
Scott Norton and Ken Patera, Buddy Rose, Baron von Raschke, Sergeant Slaughter, Undertaker, Jimmy Snooker. There's a Hall of Fame just in the list of the people that he trained.
Yeah, no lie.
Boys.
Nice. And the Nasty Boys.
Yeah. If they make it in the Hall of Fame, wow, we've got desperate.
On a lighter note, don't forget that Van Hammer is partially the reason the Briscoes got trained too, so.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Anybody can train anybody on any given day, apparently.
Yeah, Mayweather apparently was trained by seeing Rocky. That's what he came out with today. Fight week, when half of it is bullcrap.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a great segue. We wrote it right in there, because let's talk about...
Wow, actually looking at it, just noticed that his professional wrestling debut, Gagne, was actually May the 3rd.
Wow.
Coming up to the anniversary. Doesn't say where. Oh, no, in his debut he defeated Abe Kashi with former World Heavyweight Boxing champ Jack Dempsey as the referee. Okay. That's an impressive opening match.
Yeah, very much so. But it's sad to end on, to start on such a sad thing, but definitely want to remember the great career
in the last 180 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen now next week on Raw, and certainly this Thursday on SmackDown, possibly even tomorrow with this King of the Ring stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think they might reschedule the network to probably show some of the AWA stuff. Or the AWA documentary that they've got. Because obviously, I think some of the AWA stuff's still held by ESPN, isn't it?
Correct.
So go watch ESPN, people, because they'll probably show it.
ESPN Classics. Check out the wrestling content, especially the old AWA footage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically a time to reflect on a wonderful career as not only a performer but also a talented promoter. I know sometimes he rubbed people the wrong way, but promoters tend to do that, so it's something that happens in the business. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say right now, one of my favorite stories has to be from Mick Foley's book, where he was talking about how Marty Jannetty gave a great Vern Gagne impersonation by replacing the word wrestle with the F word. and it's one of my favorite bits I've heard in a long time. So yeah, I always remember that when I think of Vern Gagne.
Indeed.
Don't forget, I'm a Mr. Perfect fan. Always have been a big Kurt Hennig fan, and if it wasn't for Gagne giving him a shot, he probably never would have got to the WWF and never would have had such a storied career.
Definitely. It's
Well,
it's sad. It's sad that death's inevitable. We can't stop it yet.
no, it'd be nice if we could.
If only source code actually happened.
Yeah.
Then he dies at the end of that. That's not really good. Oh, spoilers! Damn it.
Ooh, I like Source Code. It's a good movie. Not enough people have seen it. You want to talk about the King of the Ring real quick?
Yeah, the tournament that's so big and so historic that they announce it one day before it starts and 2 days before it finishes.
Yeah. So we've got 8 guys. Obviously, the King of the Ring is to the era that it's basically the Intercontinental Division or the U.S. title division.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of former and future world heavyweight champions in this lineup, though. You have Dolph Ziggler, you have Bad News Barrett, you have R-Truth, which sticks out like a sore thumb, honestly.
Yeah.
Stardust, Dean Ambrose, Sheamus, Adrian Neville, and Luke Harper.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mix, and R-Truth.
Yeah. People have to still remember R-Truth is a former world heavyweight champion. No one wants to remember that, but it's true.
Billy Corgan remembers that.
Yeah, he is. Welcome, Billy Corgan, to Impact Wrestling. I will be talking about that this weekend, actually. I don't think he'll join me for a TNA podcast, so I'll have to do that on my own.
I will when it goes live in a week or so.
Sweet.
Is
When
it
that
next
happens.
week? Friday that the live one's happening, I think.
Friday, let me see.
The 8th.
I think, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that's right, because it's 8th through the 11th is the taping days.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be taping at my home away from home at Universal Orlando.
So I'll probably join you for that.
Sweet.
Then still go, what are you doing?
Impact Wrestling Popcast coming soon. And you'll join me for TakeOver, too, whenever the next TakeOver is. So we'll talk about that later.
Wednesday after Payback, I believe.
Yep.
20th or something?
Wednesday after Payback is May 20th, yes.
It's either then or 27th. I can't remember. It's around then.
I think it's the 20th. I think it's the 20th because I'm pretty sure the Full Sail tapings are on the 21st.
Okay, then, yeah.
Which is probably when we're going to see Samoa Joe debut.
It would possibly fit.
I think that makes the most sense. If they don't if they don't debut him like they did with Kevin Owens at our Evolution, and actually debut him on the actual event, I do think that they'll debut him on the tapings the next day. So, well, let's talk about what happened on Raw. Ashley, you want to cover the opening segment?
Yeah, we had Rollins come out and say, once again, like how he single-handedly, raped and pillaged the women of the Viking village or whatever, I don't know.
It all runs together.
For that because he's, I guess, part Viking or something, I don't know.
He's part Vigo, not Viking.
And Orton comes out on as he feels like he deserves a rematch because an RKO was used, which I did like the fact that Rollins kept calling it the SKO.
Yeah.
Completely a different thing.
It's true.
Then all of a sudden Roman comes out, decides to stand up on the table because there isn't a Spanish announce table for him to destroy.
True.
And says that He deserving of a rematch because of what happened at Mania, and Seth's like, none of you do. You Neanderthals and all that. And Kane says, hang on, you and me need to get on the same page and take these guys out. And by the end of the night, we'll find out who you're facing for the title at Payback.
And they would let the WWE Universe decide via the app.
And for some reason, they brought up Justin Bieber.
Okay, hold on.
That's a good thing.
Well, okay, first off, it feels very indie, because I'm pretty sure I've heard chants like that in the indies before. Secondly, Justin Bieber has, like next to no hair, and does not look like Rollins at all, so I don't understand.
Looks more like Heath Slater with the haircut we saw him with later on.
That is agreed. Heath Slater looks more like Justin Bieber than Seth Rollins does.
No.
I don't know what Seth Rollins...
It was the okay start to what degenerated into an average show with one shining spot of greatness, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, much later. Let's start with the first round match of King of the Ring. It is Bad News Barrett against Dolph Ziggler. I'd like this match. Quick pace with all normal Ziggler matches. And Sheamus came out and basically showed the incident on the Tron. And this distracted him long enough for Barrett to hit the bullhammer while he's standing on the ring apron, dims Dolph's running lights, and got the 3 count. So Barrett moves on, and Dolph ends up looking like a fool yet again.
Oh no, Sheamus did, because he kept saying how he didn't have tan lines. No, if we did, you'd look like a burnt sausage.
I did like the match, though, honestly, because I like Ziggler and Barrett's chemistry. I think it works quite well. And the Sheamus distraction makes me believe that we are building to a match between Dolph and Sheamus. They're really going to push that as a feud.
What did you hear in the What did you hear in the insert promo that Ziggler did?
Go ahead.
I want payback.
Yes, he wants payback.
So he can go to his local Redbox and rent it.
Yes. While he's out there, he can rent Paycheck as well, because Affleck needs money. Not really. Affleck's the Batman. He doesn't need money, so he's got plenty of money.
No, that was Pay. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Paycheck, yeah.
Was there any Pay It Forward? Who was in that?
Kevin Spacey? He definitely doesn't need money. Alright, so we get the New Day in the back, and they run into some page in the back, and he's kind of standing there, and he gets forced to clap, basically. Okay.
No, nobody should ever be forced to get the clap. That is technically rape. That
is Scotty Anton's gimmick from ECW. Hashtag American males. Yes. Someone has to bring it up. I'm going to be the one who does it live. So, New Day come out, and Xavier Woods is on the mic. He says, "We are the champions." He wants to thank all the clappers out there. Again, like you said, Ashley, it's probably smart not to...
All the single clappers. All the singles clappers. Can you put your hands together?
This is the sound of one hand clapping. So, basically, we get a singles match. But before that, we start a new chant. New Day rocks. And, of course, it's the same rhythm, so the fans are continuously chanting, New Day sucks.
Oh my God! I've just noticed on YouTube I'm going head to head with Bryce Remsburg. I apologize, Bryce. I bow in your honor. You are God.
We're probably going head to head with a lot of people right now, Ashley, to be honest, and we're losing really badly.
Looking at YouTube, at least the ones I'm subscribed to, I only see one.
So. No, I know there's other podcasts going online right now. I remember there used to be the Canada show with Jimmy Corderas, where Renee Young came from. Aftermath, I believe.
Like radio.
Yeah. But it used to be televised. It used to be broadcast on the internet too. That's how I used to watch it.
Oh.
So we get our singles match next, which is pretty much over quicker than I'd expect it to be. In a very awkward manner. It's Big E against Tyson Kidd. Basically, okay, the announcers called it a clothesline. I would say it was kind of the Vader attack with a crossbody attached to it. And he pretty much just lands on him, and Xavier Woods continues the Bobby Heenan treatment of pulling the foot and holding it during the pin.
That isn't the problem.
I've done that finish before, like 3 times.
The finish isn't the problem.
What's the problem?
60 seconds is the problem.
Yeah, these two definitely shouldn't be having a 1-minute match.
It's just.
They didn't care about time tonight, it seemed like, to be honest, because so much stuff that should have actually gotten time just didn't. And things that shouldn't have got time actually did. So just like we predicted, Ryback faces Bo Dallas. But first, Bo gave him the chance to walk away and be the bigger man. But he ended up eating the spine buster, the meat hook, and the shell shock. And then after the match was over, yes, Bray Wyatt shows up and leaves him laying with Sister Abigail. He crab walks towards Ryback, and that's our program. It's official. Ryback and Bray Wyatt is your next program.
Which, you know, the new face of fear is now going to be facing the new face of beer. That's what that is.
Oh, God. The big guy against the beard.
No, beer, not beard.
No, beard. the big guy versus the beard.
Alcohol. You need to see alcohol to see half of his blooming matches.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen some really bad Ryback matches. I've seen some serviceable Ryback matches. I think this feud will be okay, but you gotta think, Ashley, after working with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, it's kind of a step down, to say the least.
It's not just a step down. It's a step sideways, it's a step out the car, and the car is going at 70 miles an hour. Bye!
Yeah. But is this going to lead to us finding out that Bo Dallas is really the black sheep of the Wyatt family?
I don't know.
I think it's going to, honestly.
Make him the pink sheep. Let's not get confused.
They're making fun of his weight and everything on commentary, and I'll give it up.
Like Husky Harris.
Yeah, that's funny. Now you think about it. Well, tax day's over.
Robert Lee Mitchum was fat when he played Bray Wyatt in Cape Fear.
That's true. I brought that up several times during the early promos for Bray Wyatt and videos. Yeah, the Cape Fear connection was always there. Basically said Bray Wyatt was...
copy stuff from movies. Adam Rose is Russell Brand from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And Get Him to the Greek.
Correct.
And by the looks of it, New Day are now this Adam Sandler film, which is pissing off everybody.
Maybe. I do think that, like we talked about last night during the Extreme Rules podcast, when it comes down to it, it really would have made more sense to go into this gimmick as heels right away without doing the fake babyface run that just didn't work. If they would have been heels from the start, it might have had more favorable reaction. Now it's just getting heat, but I don't know necessarily if it's the right kind of heat that they really want.
Yeah, it's not boiling, it's simmering.
Yeah, but then again, if you're on somebody's mind, regardless if it's good or bad, it's good publicity. So it's keeping them in with the championships, obviously, at least until they decide who they want to put the titles on.
Well, if you get death threats, I think that's good publicity.
They mentioned the Freebird rule, so maybe we have a Freebird rule in effect.
Because that's the only way Xavier Woods will be considered a champion.
Hey, Freebird Rule considered me a tag team champion for one night. Thank you very much. So I can
Well,
understand where Xavier Woods is coming from.
you just disbanded Lynn and Skinner then. Damn it.
Well, the problem is, and the most, especially with what's going on lately, the thing that I saw on Twitter made me laugh for the wrong reasons, but I have to bring it up on the podcast. If
Oh.
if we're talking about the Freebirds, who's Michael Hayes?
Clearly, the guy that taught Rosa Mendez how to do something that happened tonight. Lucky
Oh
him.
my God! Yeah, we'll talk about that travesty in a couple segments. It's not that far. Don't worry. John Cena brings up his open challenge, and it's accepted by Heath Slater. Okay, I don't have.
Making up for last week.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. But the problem is he took too much time, and he said, "Well, Randy Orton attacked me," and then he got like obliterated by Rusev. But Cena said something that obviously won't come to fruition because it's John Cena. But he says basically if he loses at Payback, he would be forced to say, "I quit," and he's let his country down, and that means he's going to go away and never come back.
I think what he meant by that, if you listen to it properly, is he wouldn't go after Rusev anymore.
Well, I hope
He said
so.
he was worthy of a rematch. It wasn't that he wasn't worthy of being in the company. Don't get me wrong. People will misconstrue that and basically be issuing fatwas now for if Rusev doesn't win it. He'll be getting letter bombs and stuff. But
It's one of those.
Sneaky way to basically give Cena the night off.
Which sucked because honestly, with the exception of the Kane match, which was kind of less than stellar, the John Cena Open Challenge matches by and large been pretty great mid-card matches for the second hour of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And I've enjoyed almost all of them. But
well, you can probably blame Lana because she's going to be filming something or whatever, isn't she?
Yes.
So, I can't remember what it is, but she's doing something soon.
Well, obviously, she's not going to be able to promote Pitch Perfect 2, even though it is a bit part. But then again, she was part of the original, so.
Technically, she could because I think when it releases, it's only it's only 2 days before Payback.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Payback 17th, and it opens on the 15th.
Yeah, but the way Lana's character is, I can't imagine her waxing poetic about Pitch Perfect 2 and Rusev basically yelling at her, and yeah, I can't imagine that at this rate.
Seemed to be smiling away at the Nashville-Chicago game on the ice hockey on her Twitter.
I love that picture. It's hilarious to me.
Sort of breaking kayfabe there, I would say.
I love her Orlando Magic hat too. That's pretty awesome.
Magic Johnson. She's a fan of Dwayne.
Anyway, so Cena and Heath Slater, I hope we actually do end up getting that match because I think it would have been a very serviceable mid-card match. But he ended up super kicking Heath Slater off the stage. Lana comes out, smile and wave, and Rusev basically yells at Lana in Russian and tells her to bomb out. So the fans chant, "We want Lana," and he calls the fans and everybody else quitters. At Payback, John Cena will do the same. It's not God Bless America, it's I quit. Okay.
It's not that good to say that the WWE Universe are quitters, because then they will turn off because there's ice hockey happening.
Yeah.
Probably more entertaining than the piece of drivel that you gave us tonight, WWE.
There were a couple of things I was happy. A couple things I'm happy with. That was about it. So basically, we get our next match, and it is the King of the Ring first round. R-Truth against Stardust. The two things I could take from this: number one, R-Truth says if he gets coronated, he's going to ban spiders. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
And Stardust basically wants to become the King of the Stars.
Yep.
So he goes for the disaster kick, and of course it's countered into the lie detector, which Michael Cole actually called the right name for a change. I'll give props to Cole tonight because he was actually calling moves correctly, if you noticed that throughout the broadcast.
Probably.
I was happy with that. But what I'm kind of happy with, but I'm kind of like mishmash about is the next segment, and that is Fandango against Adam Rose. Or should I refer to him now as Hollywood Adam Rose, brother? Because he's rocking the Hogan tights. He looks more like Leo Kruger every day. I wonder why. So Rosa is dressed up as Gretel. She's like chilling out in the rosebuds, and she distracts Fandango, and he ends up basically eating the party foul. And Adam Rose gets a win on television, which never happens anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for whatever reason, Rosa basically said, "You left me for them," talking about the universe. And Adam Rose and Rosa Mendez proceeded to make out pretty hardcore, and Fandango bombed out looking like, what's going on? Do we have a program, or is this a one-off?
No, clearly this is a program that
Good.
nobody really gives a damn about.
I do, because it gets Fandango TV time.
Yeah, but just like a PG, but what you just saw, I pretty much saw in a porno 2 weeks back.
Yeah, it was like you remember the Edge and Lita live sex celebration on
Yep.
Raw, and it's pretty much the same thing, but there was no grandiose bed and setup and everything. It was just
To steal a line from BMX Triple X, because it's just good to have as a random line. Oh,
yeah.
I think I see a nipple.
Don't forget what Rose is basically known for, his wardrobe malfunctions. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if the shoe fits, use it as a phone. So,
Further proving my theory that Rosa Mendez shouldn't wrestle.
no, she's nice to look at, but I don't want to watch her work.
The Divas division is so bad I actually want Eva Marie to come back and actually be slightly good. Even if she's not absolutely rubbish, I'm just going to go, oh, thank God.
Hey, she's working with Brian Kendrick now, and I saw that sweet springboard tornado DDT they're working on. So
That's the positive thing.
That is a very positive thing.
She's starting to actually commit to it rather than just be a model.
I just don't want.
If it goes right, she becomes Trish Stratus. If it goes wrong, she becomes Nicole Bass.
And then there's Dana Brooke right now, which is the middle ground, and I don't really have much hope for her at this moment.
Uh-oh.
But that's just me. I'll talk about that on the NXT video later this weekend. So Bree tries to give a legitimate update on what's going on with Daniel Bryan and his health and well-being, and of course she gets attacked by Naomi because why not? They don't care about you, and they don't care about your husband either. Well, I know probably a lot of people would agree with one of those, but not the other.
Hang on. Your fucking husband's injured as well, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Double standards much?
Is it bad to say that I'm happy that we're getting a break from the Usos on television every week?
Is it bad to say that the Divas need Paige back, otherwise that division is dead?
There's no real face in the division, except for Paige. So
that's what best for business, though.
Oh God, yeah. If I want to watch good women's wrestling in WWE speak, I'll watch NXT.
No, just watch the Independents.
No. I mean, if
come out on DVD next year, buy the entire Shimmer weekend that happened a few weeks back. Much more entertaining. Plus, you get to see Aja Kong wrestle.
Well, I'm aware of the indies, obviously, and I'm definitely aware of Shimmer. But I'm talking about if I was Joe Blow wrestling fan, sticking to nothing but WWE. If I want to watch women's wrestling, I'll either watch the network or I will watch NXT.
No, just watch it on ESPN when the women's soccer teams or whatever get in fights. More entertaining at the minute. Bring back Paige.
Hey, there's some really great talent in NXT that I don't want to get brought up because then they won't be in NXT anymore.
Yeah.
Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks.
Blue pants.
Especially Blue Pants. So, but Brie takes on Naomi. Wow, this. Oh my God. Let's talk about the finish of this match. Now, it's supposed to be an inside cradle, and according to Booker T, it was a beautiful inside cradle, but it kind of breaks halfway through, and basically she has her leg grapevine around her other leg, and that's pretty much how she got the pin. A really awkward, like, pinning predicament.
And then obviously pulled her hair afterwards because, you know, she needs hair to add to her collection for the 151 Pokemon.
Naomi rocking the shades. Like I said, she looks like a discount. Like I said, CinemaSins reference from last night. Discount Nicki Minaj. Ding. But I gotta dig these boots.
A battle between her and Marty Bell in TNA, Sue. Which one looks like who went to Dollar Tree for the Nicki Minaj costume?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about the doll.
Marty Bell and Naomi can wrestle. It's just they've got absolutely shitty gimmicks.
Yeah, but at least, like I said, she took my advice and she's using like moves that are not flashy. Because being a heel and doing flashy moves, usually that doesn't really work very well.
The story, though, Owen.
Huh?
If the story that they give you is rubbish, how can you be enthralled by the moves?
I'm not at all. The story is terrible.
Yeah.
They're not booking the women's division like they book the guys.
You're trying to give her constructive criticism when it's really the destructive criticism of the writers that is more important.
Well, the writers are terrible right now. But
seriously, you know how they say three monkeys could write Shakespeare?
Yes.
If they were given enough time? Put them in a room 10 minutes, they could write a better Divas match.
God. That's true. Well, then of course we ended up getting our third of 4 King of the Ring first round matches. It's Dean Ambrose against Sheamus. Ambrose has an interesting thing if he wins. He's going to ban Pop Country, death to Florida Georgia line, and he's going to settle all disputes with street fights.
I like this man.
All hail King! All hail King Mox.
Yeah.
Sheamus basically is going to make all the little people in his kingdom have what happened to Dolph Ziggler. So that's basically what he said. This match was okay. Basically, it ended with Sheamus and Ambrose fighting on the floor, and it looked like we were leading to a double countout. And I think about the count of 8 or 9, Ziggler hits Sheamus like he is a lightning bolt, and the referee, before the countout is completed, calls for the disqualification. So Sheamus moves on to the next round.
Yeah, and still, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Just, I don't know. It was the overall aura of the show that just makes that feel like it was a bad match, even though it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, the next thing is something I really enjoyed, and you want to cover the Damien Sandow promo.
Yeah, best bit of the night.
Without a doubt.
Mainly because I think it was truthful.
I guarantee you it was truthful, because all that stuff is true.
That was a shoot. That Sandow speech, when he said, you know, they came to him in the back and said, "You're not entertaining."
Yeah, that's a shoot.
And how he got a lot of disrespect from his peer thing, but the fans latched onto it and loved him.
Without the fans, he wouldn't be within the company right now.
Yeah, that was the honest truth. And then he said he was sick of being somebody else when he could just be him. Cue Hulk Axel.
I love Curtis Axel. I really do. Obviously, it's the Hennig fan in me, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but it's the whole Hulk. It's the whole Hulk thing. It's like, when he comes out, why are you trying to be something that you're not? And this is already genius because he doesn't realize double standards. But then Sandow just mocks him and
Yeah,
mocks him,
that was
and
fun.
John mocks him. Just so much, and then proceeds. Axel's heard enough, goes for a strike, but Sandow replies with 3 punches, a big boot, then the Sandow elbow,
Yeah,
and then to boot a leg drop.
he drops the Kobito Akiyet, which we have not seen in a long time. New music too, by the way.
Yeah, I actually want to see the Robe come back.
I really like Sandow. I've always been a big fan of his work. I was a fan of his work actually, the Teacher's Pets tag team gimmick on SmackDown when they were managed by Michelle McCool when he was there in the Idol Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked his work, and I really loved when they gave him Money in the Bank. And I actually thought for a second that he may be able to cash in, and sure enough, instead of that, he loses it to Cena. So
Yeah, but he still had a very good match with him.
the match with Cena was awesome. I love the Rhodes Scholars tag team. I thought that worked really well. Cody and Sandow worked really well as a unit. But they missed a golden opportunity if they wanted to do like the copycat gimmicks. Axel needs to come out with the singlet and chewing the gum, and Sandow comes out as Lanny Poffo.
I thought you were going to say Sandow comes out as Randy Savage.
I was going to say Mr. Perfect and the Genius.
Well, no. Well, if we're going with the Axel Mania thing, I'm just wondering whether they're going to become, the Axel, the Mega Axel Maniacs or something.
I think we're actually
That's
doing
the way
a program.
Next week, but I don't think so. I think he's had enough of doing gimmicks.
No, I think Sandow's going to get back into form, and I do think, as of right now, I do think he's in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I pretty much can guarantee he's going to be in Money in the Bank. But kudos to him for saying what he had to say. Obviously, they gave him an open forum. Whether it was a complete shoot or not, there was a lot of truth that was being said right there. So it was very entertaining, and I wish him the very best. I want to see nothing but great things from Damian Sandow.
The most entertaining bit was there was no sign of The Miz on the show.
He's filming.
Clearly too busy finding out, that Marine 4 was the number 72 DVD.
Is that true?
I don't even want to look at the figures.
Well, we get a Bray Wyatt promo, and he basically admits that it's Ryback that he's attacking. And he said, tonight was only the beginning. Open your eyes, friend. Run.
He can't run. What we can do is feed.
Well, oh boy. We talked about the great segment with Damian Sandow and his fireside chat that ended up getting interrupted by Axelmania. But if you want to talk about the best match of the night, that would be your real main event. We're about to talk about it. The final first-round match of the King of the Ring, Adrian Neville against Luke Harper.
Pac versus Brody Lee.
My God, yes.
These guys, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. Anybody that does not think Luke Harper has what it takes, they really need to truly focus on his matches. Luke Harper is, I know they throw this around a lot, but he's a throwback. Like, they talk about Harper and Rowan being like Brody and Vader, or Brody and Hanson. That's what I'm trying to say, is Brody and Hanson. But I do think that Luke Harper has all the tools to be a world champion. but I don't think that they're going to push him towards the championship. I do think that he is, I believe the term that we use is a good solid hand that can deliver in crunch situations, great matches against anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And this match against Neville was no exception to that rule.
It was as good as you expect it to be.
And even when he got knocked, Neville got knocked off the top rope with a back elbow, he still countered with a high kick and still hit the red arrow after a really awesome sunset bomb.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of great moves in this match. I really like the standing shooting star press after the shotgun drop kick from the springboard, and some really great stuff from Harper with the super kick into the Tiger Suplex 85. And Taz was even talking about it on Twitter, saying, I used to do that in ECW, but I never would have dared trying it in the WWE. And Harper's like, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen now. And a vicious sit-out powerbomb that almost got the win for Harper. But, yeah, this match was awesome. And the true main event of tonight's show.
Yep.
And the crowd agreed, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was that good, what can I say?
Well, it's Neville and Harper. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I feel really sorry for Eric Rowan, though, honestly. He's kind of a man without a country right now.
Pretty much.
I mean, he did the backstage segment in catering last week, but that's it. I mean, he's not. I don't even think he's working on Superstars right now.
Probably not.
He'd have a good. Well, he'd go back to Japan if he got released from WWE. If I had to guess.
Yeah, if he had to, I think.
So that's. Yeah, but yeah, Neville and Harper match of the night without a doubt. Let's talk about the actual main event that we pretty much predicted as well, because anybody can see that we're going to get a tag match for the main event of the show. It is Roman Reigns and Randy Orton taking on Seth Rollins and Kane, of course forced to team together yet again. Basically, Seth ends up topeing Kane, but he almost didn't get him. And Rollins almost hit the side of the announce table. It was really close.
Yeah, it was a bit lucky, wasn't it?
Very much so, because, oh my God, if we could have went like 1 inch a little bit further over, we may have had some issues on our hands.
Pretty much.
So J&J try to get involved. Kane attacks them. Kane ends up choke thrusting. Rollins tosses him in to eat the Superman punch and the RKO combo, and then announces that the universe have unanimously decided that we're going to get a three-way dance at Payback. Roman spears Rollins, and that's how we end the show.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Okay. WWE, give me great WrestleMania after me being away from the company for months. Literally months. I gave up and stopped doing WWE coverage on this channel except for NXT, which is not WWE. It is, but it's not. If you know what I mean. Yeah. And focusing on Impact, because Impact is what I was a lot happier talking about than Raw or SmackDown. And I'm still not back on SmackDown yet. Oh, by the way, if you're watching SmackDown this week on Friday night, you're going to get a tag team title rematch between the New Day and Kid and Cesaro.
Thursday. It's not Friday anymore.
Oh, yeah, good point. Again, I don't watch SmackDown anymore. Friday is Impact. Thursday is SmackDown, yes. Wednesday's NXT. Tuesday is, dear God, there's not something on Tuesday. But there will be someday.
Yeah.
That's gonna be when Global Force is gonna run when they get their TV deal.
Hopefully.
Hey, like I said, with Ambrose saying he wants to ban pop country, anybody that wants to get rid of Florida Georgia Line forever, I'm totally down with.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I agree. So I wasn't sure if we're going to talk about King of the Ring tomorrow or not. Doesn't look like we're going to.
After the quality of Raw, you screwed yourselves, WWE.
Barrett beats. Go ahead.
Well and truly screwed themselves.
Barrett beats Truth. I think Neville beats Sheamus with Dolph Ziggler interference. And I think Neville wins the King of the Ring tournament, and then Barrett just destroys him afterwards to start a real program.
I'm thinking Barrett might win.
I want Barrett to win,
I think
but
it's going to be Barrett versus Sheamus. It's going to be another DQ or something.
I don't think Sheamus is getting to the finals. Not as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
They could surprise me and put Truth over Barrett, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't think so.
Listings to see how popular the Marine 4 is on DVD. The Room is outselling it apparently though.
Sweet. I love The Room. I get so much flack for that, but I love The Room.
And The Happiest Baby on the Block, the new way to calm crying and help your baby sleep longer. Doing better than Marine 4 on Amazon.
Yay, WWE. Shoot for that high level. Obviously next week we're getting another John Cena challenge. Hopefully Ryback won't get involved this time.
He will.
I don't know what's going to happen with the Divas Championship. I don't think WWE knows what they're going to do with the Divas Championship right now. These movies, like you said last night, are starting to become cumbersome because they're taking talent off the show that really needs to be on there right now.
Yep.
But, I mean, the way to do this is bring people up from NXT, but then you take people away from NXT, and then you have to focus on... What'd you say?
It's too easy. More complicated to try and get it better. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll take these guys and stick them in."
Well, you got Sarah Del Rey doing the training for the women, so you got somebody that's a world-class trainer that definitely knows what she's talking about, knows what she's doing. That's the reason why the NXT females come out a lot differently. The Diva division.
Training the main roster would solve the issue. Not just.
I agree with that.
Not just the girls at the other end.
Looking at you, Cameron. Looking at you, Cameron. I mean, I don't have a problem looking at you, but when it comes to wrestling, I'm looking at you, Cameron. Miss Melina versus Alicia Fox was the best wrestling match she's ever seen.
That alone should have been the reason why she didn't get signed up.
And she's the only one of the season left that works for the company still.
Big Andy.
Oh, God. Rest in peace, Silent Rage.
Hey, Big Andy's probably got the same record now as John Jones.
You know, TNA didn't want him. They seemed like they could have had a chance. No, they could.
Enough in about 2 weeks.
No. I think they'll be fine because I think Billy Corgan is going to work really fine with working with creative. So
the only point when TNA was making money, which is the UK tour, isn't allowed, they're done for.
They got to work out something about that, honestly.
You know, just because they've got a rights deal to America doesn't mean it's just an American product.
It's called Destination America, though. I guess I can see where they're coming from, but it's still stupid.
Shows are done in Alaska. Should be called Destination Alaska. Hosted by Sarah Palin 24/7. That's more relevant.
Yeah. TNA's having some really great shows, but no one's watching them. Like the Knockouts special they had last week on Impact, with the Knockouts division being one of the cornerstones that got TNA on the map, the Knockouts and the X division, and it actually lost viewers. I mean, it just seems like a lot of the people that were diehard TNA fans, they just kind of drifted away, and they didn't come back, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because Vince has no competition, he's not going to try. And we get shows like tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably all we can say about Raw tonight. It was a show.
Okay, I've actually looked it up.
Go ahead.
Taken 3 is doing better than Marine 4.
Oh man, that's on one of my worst movies of the year list.
Also include Amazon Instant Video, even though I don't think Marine 4 is on Amazon Instant Video. It's doing worse than Leprechaun 4 in space.
Leprechaun 4 in space? The old movie?
Search Marine 4 and go by new and popular.
Oh, God.
Basically, it's the popularity of the item. Leprechaun 4 in space is listed above Marine 4.
Where are you finding this information? Because I'm curious to look into it myself.
US Amazon.
Amazon. Oh my
If you
God.
search Marine 4 and then sort it by new and popular, which is basically how many times it's being clicked on or looked at.
Oh my God. Are you seeing some of the things that people are saying if you bought this you might like?
Oh, hang on. I'm going that far. I haven't gone that far in because I was scared.
There's a Dolph Lundgren movie called Skin Trade. I see a movie with Danny Trejo called Badasses on the Bayou.
I'm going to page 20 of 20. Let's see, how bad we get.
The worst movie of this series, and that is saying something.
More Cop 2. Revenge of a Ninja. Russell Madness.
Oh, wow.
The Rewrite. Biodome. Horrible Boss 2. Vengeance of an Assassin. The Barber of Seville. Scorpion King 4.
Oh, my God.
Big Eyes. Yeah, that really complements it.
Oh, God. Okay, did you watch the Scooby-Doo or the Flintstones WWE films?
I own the Scooby-Doo one.
The Scooby-Doo one's fine.
It was in the bargain bin about 4 months after.
I would watch the Flintstones one. It's funny. The villains are CM Punk
Come out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably don't come out here for over 4 years because of the rights issue or something.
The villains are CM Punk and Mark Henry. Find your way to watch this.
Hang on.
But, I mean, there were a couple really good WWE films, but by and large, it's pretty much a really bad film company.
Oh, the Flintstones and WWE Stone Age SmackDown release. So it hasn't come out yet.
Well, let's talk about the WWE films real quick. Obviously, we have the Scorpion King, the Rundown, Walking Tall. They're all good. 12 Rounds is good. I'm obviously leaving out things for good reason. And Dead Man Down is really good. And Oculus is okay.
The problem with Oculus and I think was it The Day?
Yeah.
They aren't really WWE films.
Oculus is a WWE film.
Yeah, but
It's through Relativity Media, but it does say WWE Studios on it.
By WWE. They weren't really produced by them.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for stuff at production, you have to look at things like The Call
Oh,
and
dear God.
Man Down.
I love Dead
Even
Man
though
Down.
the only WWE films because Wade Barrett's in it for 15 seconds.
Yeah, he is. And he's awesome.
Um, Bending the Rules, Knucklehead, all those sort of things. And then you've got this Santa's Little Helper thing, and obviously Jingle All the Way too.
We don't speak of that one, for sure.
No, it was straight to television. After a week, it was on DVD.
Oh, God.
When that happened, I'm pretty sure there must have been a lot of people going, "Well, we wasted our money there, son."
Well, you've got a lot of movies coming out in the next year. Later this year, we also have 2016. There's going to be another Scooby-Doo WrestleMania mystery, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a lot of stuff that doesn't have any dates yet, like the DreamWorks Rock vehicle of the Fall Guy. The Rock doing it's it's DreamWorks featuring WWE.
It is a WWE deal. Let's look.
WWE Studios is bending the rules the day Barricade and
Interrogate. So Interrogation's going to have Edge and Lana.
yep,
Eliminator's going to have Wade Barrett.
yes,
Rampage and Temple. Santa's Little Helper, which is Miz and Page. Straight to video.
hmm
Killing Hasselhoff.
with Hogan.
Yeah. Condemned 2. What is it about Randy Orton and always getting the shit hand?
Getting sequels.
Yeah. 12 rounds. Oh my word.
So think about it from this perspective, Ashley. Randy Orton is doing 12 rounds too, which was the John Cena movie. And now he's doing the Condemned 2, which was the Stone Cold Steve Austin movie.
Yeah.
And obviously we have the Behind Enemy Lines movies.
He wasn't in See No Evil 2.
Yeah.
Guessing that means he's probably going to be in Oculus 2. No One Lives 2. The Call, Dead Man Down 2.
There will never be another call. Ever. I will never let it happen.
Reunion of the Reunion. Inside Out 2.
Mm.
That's What I Am 2, which would be ironic because he was in the first one. Chaperone 2.
Nice.
2. Legendary 2. Behind Enemy Lines, Columbia.
That's even more irony right there. If he's going after Mr. Anderson.
Welcome to the Jungle 2 to confuse the Americans because it isn't called The Rundown. We'll use the British name.
I've seen it called Welcome to the Jungle before.
We already had Walking Tour 2, so we can't really do that.
Mm. All right, so that's Randy Orton's filmography coming down the pipe.
Jingle All the Way through.
Yeah, just as long as Dan Whitney's not in it, I don't care. All right, so that was Raw this week, and yeah, hopefully next week will be more fun.
Yeah.
So as always, we have since it is Tuesday now, we have the excuse me. We're gonna flip some things around. We're going to be giving you guys different videos this week. I'm going to be guesting on the In the Loop podcast on Wednesday. I'll give you guys information once everything works out. If it's not this week, it'll be the next time. I'm still not sure on that one, honestly, when we're going to do it. Got a sip and snack that I guess is going to be coming soon. Obviously, we've got a brand new AJ's movie reviews. Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Ex Machina, While We're Young, and Adult Beginners. That's coming up. Brand new Versus coming up as well. We are not finished with the gangster theme. And a brand new Gaming with Ash is coming on Saturday. Apparently you have some new developments to talk about.
It's going to be a smorgasbord of stuff. we've got the whole Konami stuff, we've got the Steam stuff.
Mm.
If there's enough time, I might include all the Mortal Kombat stuff. And probably something will have happened in the next 4 days to complicate it even further.
Probably. I have more Horror Nights news.
Apparently, a lot of heat. I've just noticed something on the Twitters.
Okay.
Apparently, because he mentioned Booker said Owen didn't defy gravity like Neville, which apparently is construed as being something to do with Owen's death. Which is stupid that people saw it that way.
Yeah, it just takes one person to ruin it for everyone.
Blimey.
It's lame. So yeah, on that note, we're gonna get off here. So thank you guys for joining us, and if you didn't, then we have an archive, so you can check that out starting tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning, I'll get it up before I head to work. Ashley will be joining me again next week, same time, 11:30 Monday night for your live Raw Popcast.
Hopefully, it's more exciting because we are going to be in
Montreal.
Yeah.
Yes. Canadian Raws are always more fun anyway. So hopefully we get a Sami Zayn sighting one way or another. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we can say for the rest of the night. So once again, thanks to everybody for watching and listening, and continue to watch the content on Pop. We have new Halloween Horror Nights news coming up very soon. I may or may not be doing another cryptic video, so check out that very soon once I cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's and I get everything in order, because apparently we had a huge let out of all the information, and now we're starting to find out that it may not be true. So, got to talk about that now.
Yeah.
So, I will let you personally head to bed, sir. Real quick, you can also check out Ashley on the Whole Indie Show on the SNS Radio Network.
Yeah, which will be more interesting than Raw.
I'm guaranteeing that. You can also check out Ashley for Gaming with Ash on Saturday with his smorgasbord of information. And you can... Exactly. You can also find Ashley on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK. If you want to friend request him on Facebook, go right ahead. If you'd like it as under Ashley Richardson. If you want to friend request me, it's under Owen Disney. If you'd like to tweet me, it's at Sir Owen Disney. And feel free to like our Facebook fan page under Sir Owen Disney Pop. Don't forget, this Friday is officially 2 years as a channel for Pop. Not as a YouTube channel. We've been doing this a little bit longer than that. But Pop itself, branded, has been going on for 2 years as of Friday. So, big weekend this weekend. So, a lot of stuff I'm not even going to tell you about. You're just going to have to find out when it comes into your feeds. So, once again, Ashley, thank you for joining me for yet another very late evening for you and a somewhat late evening for me.
Yeah.
Since it's now morning for you. And once again, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.